summer of violence right here in Kootenai County started on Father's Day.
Community leaders gathered for an event in Kootenai County to honor the lives lost during the September 11th terrorist attacks and the lives lost recently in North Idaho.
Nothing but sunshine for most of us as we track a few mountain storms.
Investigators try to piece together the details in the deadly shooting of a popular conservative activist in Utah yesterday. New details from the FBI tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Today in Coeur d'Alene, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office held a ceremony to remember the lives lost. KREM 2's Regan Gallo was there.
Right now I'm standing right outside Canfield Mountain because today's 9/11 ceremony was extra heavy for the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office as they honored both those who have sacrificed across the country and right here in North Idaho. Grief, loss, fear, and hope were all mentioned within a crowd who gathered in Coeur d'Alene at Silver Lake Mall. Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris teared up in front of the crowd, acknowledging the violence North Idaho has seen this summer. The keynote speaker, a father of 4 from Meridian, Idaho, who lost his ability to walk serving in Iraq. And another Wrath Drum man, part of the Post Falls Honor Guard, who lost his fiancée while both were working in the Pentagon on September 11th.
The political violence and the political disorder that is occurring in this nation and this community has got to stop.
Let's not let my stars or your stars define us.
Life choices, I guess, is my reflection, is we never know what's going to happen, just like the key speaker today.
And this year, as 9/11 falls just one day after the assassination of Republican figure Charlie Kirk, there was a shared understanding within the crowd that the next day isn't always guaranteed. I'm reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
At 5:20 tonight, we took a look at how 9/11 survivors are still struggling with health conditions. For more 9/11 coverage, just download our free KREM 2 Plus app and stream on your TV. We are still tracking several wildfires in the inland Northwest tonight. First, the Crown Creek fire in Stevens County, just south of Northport. That fire combined with the Black Hawk Mountain fire. Well, thanks to some light rain and higher humidity, crews are starting to get that fire more under control. It's burned more than 14,000 acres. It's now 20% contained. Level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations are still in place near Northport, and there are more than 900 crew members and 72 engines on scene tonight. Meanwhile, northeast of Spokane, the Rattlesnake fire grew again, but crews were also able to make some progress on that containment. The fire has burned more than 21,000 acres so far, but it is now 50% contained. Right now, level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations are still in place, and an evacuation center is still open at the Inchelium Community Center. Meantime, in Bonner and Lincoln counties, there is a bundle of small fires totaling 458 acres. 150 personnel are working to contain the lightning-caused fires. While there are no evacuation orders at this time, fire personnel are urging the public to avoid the general area to allow for firefighter access. On that note, let's talk weather with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo standing by in the Outdoor Weather Center. Jeremy, chances of rain and thunderstorms in the area, well, at least possible in the area. Tell us more about that.
Well, most of what we are going to see today and in the coming days stays up in the mountains of northern Washington and the mountains of North Idaho. Today in Spokane, we're back in the 80s, comes with mostly sunny skies, and we're starting to see a little bit of cloud cover move through. A lot of that is associated with what's going on over in Idaho. You can see that moving in with our band of storms. Those storms are starting to die down just a little bit. However, as they move closer to our low pressure center sitting in Oregon, they will get a little kick later on this evening. So it's worth watching these. Wallace up to Lookout Pass taking the brunt of it. Most of these staying up in the mountains. But once again, all of that moves down. Low pressure center sits in Oregon. So as they get closer to there, we will see a resurgence of these later on this evening. Tomorrow, Saturday, we wind up seeing a couple of scattered thunderstorms, few light showers up in the mountains. That is it. Not until Sunday do we see a pattern change, and that's when we'll get more cloud cover throughout the day than a chance of rain in the evening. With that, I think we top out almost 10 degrees cooler, in the 70s, before we cool even more next week. You want the heat? Enjoy the next two 80s Friday and Saturday.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the show. 2 students are wounded and the juvenile suspect is dead after a shooting at an Evergreen High School in Colorado yesterday. The shooter, a student at the high school, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The local sheriff's office says the gunman opened fire with a revolver. Video shows terrified students running from the scene and a ringing doorbell at a nearby home. Others were on lockdown inside the high school. Colorado Senator John Hickenlooper says Congress should find a bipartisan solution to stop school shootings.
If there were a terrorist trying to hurt our country, what more harmful thing could they do but to make our children scared to learn, scared to go to school, right? We're terrorizing ourselves.
Police say first responders reached the scene within 2 minutes of receiving several 911 calls and made contact with the suspect 3 minutes later. Prominent conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated at a college in Utah yesterday. Investigators questioned and released 2 suspects related to that shooting, and now the FBI is asking for the public's help to find a suspect in this case. We'll have a live report from Utah coming up at 5:15. A Hilliard man faces decades in prison after police say they found enough fentanyl powder to kill everyone in Spokane County almost 4 times over. A judge sentenced Timothy Maddox to 20 years in prison. The U.S. Attorney's Office says police recovered enough drugs to make 2 million fentanyl pills and evidence of a commercial pill press operation. They say he helped run that operation out of his accomplice's Hilliard home. Police say the men ordered the pill press through the mail from China. Spokane Valley fire crews put out this house fire early this morning. They say it happened along East Cataldo Avenue at around 4 this morning. Firefighters telling us no one was hurt, but that fire is still under investigation. Refugees and asylum seekers in Idaho will soon lose access to federal assistance like SNAP and Medicaid. The change is happening because of the spending bill that President Trump signed into law earlier this summer. The state says nobody has lost benefits yet. However, starting in October of next year, refugees will not be allowed to enroll in Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program. Then in 2027, they'll also lose access to Medicare. Refugees can become eligible to apply for benefits again once they get their green cards. All right, coming up on KREM 2 News at 5 tonight, from budget concerns to county highlights, KREM 2 Shannon Mowdy heard what leaders discussed today at the Spokane State of the County address. And decades after September 11th terrorist attacks, survivors and first responders still deal with lingering health issues, the health conditions they battle when we come back.